Shut that off. Yeah.
Order. Yeah, but. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first item of business is the consent agenda items. Can we get a motion unless anyone would like to remove something?
Move to approve the consent agenda for August 4, 2026.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussions? No, the consent agenda. I say it automatically. All in favor? 5 ayes. Okay, next item of business, we come to our public comment period. Remember, if you have a comment, come forward and announce your name, and it's 5 minutes. Do we have any public comments today? Online? Seeing none, we'll close that section. New business. Our first new item of new business is our police cruiser lease. Can we get a motion for that?
Move to approve the municipal lease purchase proposal for a new police cruiser for Androscoggin Bank and authorize the town manager to execute the municipal lease purchase agreement. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions, comments, discussion items from the select board? Yes, Cassie.
One quick question, does the lease include any routine maintenance costs or those on?
No. No, just straight up, just cost us $1 at the end.
Any additional questions? Seeing none, do we have any from the people here? No. Online? No. Can I get a vote? All in favor? 5-0. 0. Our next item is commercial waste hauler license. Can I get a motion?
Move to approve the renewal of a commercial waste disposal hauler license for Dave's Disposal LLC.
Second. Okay, I have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion from the select board? Seeing none from our people here today, online. Seeing none, all in favor? 5-0. Okay, we have a municipal quit claim as our third item of business. Can we get a motion for that?
Move to approve a quit claim deed to Harmony Pottle, personal representative for the estate of Susan Johns at 110 Sheepsfoot Road, map R05, lot 99-A.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Do we have any items for discussion with the select board? Seeing none from anyone who has joined us today online. Seeing none, all in favor? 5-0. Item D, we have the high school survey questions. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve the municipal officer's order to place a non-binding referendum question regarding a regional high school on the November 3rd, 2026 special town meeting warrant.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion here at the select board? Seeing none, do we have any from the people who have joined us online? Seeing none, all in favor? 5-0. We have a replacement drug and alcohol workplace policies. Can I get a motion?
Move to adopt the town of Wiscasset drug and alcohol policies dated August 4, 2026, replacing the existing policies, subject to all applicable collective bargaining requirements and approval requirements under state and federal law.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Do we have any items for discussion here at the select board? Seeing none, do we have any questions, comments? Online? Nope. Seeing none, all in favor? 5-0. Great. So now we come to our sixth item, the Energy Technology Innovation Partnership Project. Aaron, would you like to come forward and discuss this, or at least get us kicked off?
Sure. So I hope you had a chance to read it, because I don't want to have to read it to you.
No, please don't.
Thank you. Anyways. Hope that didn't find anybody. I wasn't trying to find anybody. What we've been working on, I think you've been made aware of, we applied for this program called Energy Technology Innovation Partnership Project, ETIP, affectionately, through the US Department of Energy. I think it was last fall we applied and we got it. And they provide the town with a strategic energy plan. And it's basically just technical assistance. And the US Department of Energy has these labs, like research centers, and they're providing the technical assistance to us. The one that is helping us out is Sandia National Laboratory. And anyways, we had a workshop, a community workshop, I think it was in March. And we had a brief survey, but mostly the feedback came from the workshop that we had in March at Chewonki. I think some of you attended it, and I appreciate that. And we came up with sort of these three focus areas. And then also we've been meeting Peter from Repower Wiscasset, Melissa, and the select board, and myself with the Island Institute and the ETIP team from the Sandia National Laboratory. And they've looked at a variety of factors, and I won't go into that. That's not part of this project, but it is part of it, but it's the data that they have. They will make a presentation at our next workshop in April. I'm sorry, August 25th at 3 p.m. at Scout Hall. So the three focus areas that we kind of narrowed things down. One was focus area was capitalized underutilized energy assets. So that's sort of the economic development like focus area. And then focus area 2 is reduce municipal energy costs. And that's sort of just the municipal operations. Then focus area 3 is improved communications between the utility CMP and the Wiscasset community. And that's just really a communications piece where we're gonna try and set up like channels between CMP and the community to begin bring awareness to some of the issues that people have concerns about. CMP has been involved in this process, and they have been happy to participate in this. Focus area 4 is develop a community education program that helps residents reduce energy costs. So the climate action team has already been carrying this banner for a while by educating people about energy savings, and that ultimately is cost savings, right? And through some of their workshops and like Earth Day and so forth. But this is a little bit more extensive, where we would do some community outreach. We might apply for a grant to potentially hire somebody to help out with some of the outreach. Maybe build a website off our website to help direct people to some of the programs that people can access. Because there's a lot of programs out there that people just aren't aware of. The focus area 1, the economic development one, is really is a way for us to utilize our legacy infrastructure here that was left behind by Mason Station and Main Yankee. And find a way to access that. And that would be you know, through our RFP development, you know, we're planning on doing with the Old Ferry Road and Birch Point. Do we want to prioritize energy development on those properties? That's something to consider. And then reduce municipal energy costs. We're already doing some of this stuff already, which is good. You know, we've already converted our streetlights to LED, and that's a significant cost savings. And then there's things like energy audits, and things like that. So, installing heat pumps throughout the town facilities, which, so, there's a lot to be proud of that we're doing already. But, there's still a little bit more to do. And this is just what we wanted to do was, before the next workshop in August, is to start socializing some of these goals and these ideas and these concepts to the public. But before we do that, we wanted to kind of run them by you before we go out and publicly start advertising and talking about them. Any thoughts? And
I'd
this
just
is
like to say that the way we came up with these four is from
the workshop.
the workshop. And, you know, it was one of those where there were lots of different ideas, but when you really coalesce them into different groups, these were pretty much the four groups that people were interested in. Education, learning more, being able to understand all of the issues, cost savings, of course, weatherization at home, and what to do with the existing infrastructure and how can we take advantage of that. That was kind of the four themes that came out of that meeting. There were what, 30-something people who came to that?
Yeah, it was quite a few people.
Yeah.
And I think it was, you know, a different group too. There was, you know, there was a few people that I hadn't recognized from some of the other group meetings that we've had, which was good.
Yes.
In terms of some of the specific targets, like the reaching 30% of community, what, like, how strict is that? Do they penalize you? I mean, cause that's 1,200 people. So
Right, it is not penalized, and that's not a hard and fast number,
Yeah.
that's one of the numbers that where we just stuck it in there and said, is this realistic? We don't know, but over the next 2 weeks, hopefully, we can kind of finalize that, and the workshop will help us finalize that.
Yeah.
Because we don't know if that's realistic or terribly optimistic.
So nothing here is gonna be like, if they're gonna write a report, it's up to us to implement it, right? So hopefully we'll take advantage of it, right? You know, because, you know, they're gonna write your report, right? And, you know, there's been some public engagement on this, but at the end of the day, there's no E-tip release that's gonna come by and say, you didn't meet your benchmark, at 30%, there's only 29% in 2 years. You've been locked up, so.
okay, I just didn't wanna, this is all great, but if we don't hit some of these, we get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know.
We
We
can-
need a placeholder for
Like the-
discussion purposes.
Like the 15% savings.
Yeah.
You know, first thing I said is, well, I want us to calculate the savings we've already implemented as part of that, because why should we just not get credit for that? Let's add that in to whatever it is we do. Maybe that amounts to 15%, I don't know, but then we would need to bump that goal up, right? Make it bigger. Yeah.
I was wondering, Erin, how the August 29th workshop will influence the draft. What the plan is, to use the workshop outcomes on, finalizing them.
So what I put in front of you is actually, not to confuse you all, it's actually, it's not E-tip related, but it's sort of E-tip related. Not to confuse you all. There's the August 25th meeting is the final, and I don't have the advertising yet, because we're still putting that together. We should have it by the end of the week. So the final meeting is they sort of get approval, I mean, lack of a better word, but go over some of the findings that we had from the research that was done by the Department of Energy. And then also present these findings and engage the public on these goals here. So
And that was August 25th?
25th, yeah.
Okay, so hopefully earlier in the day than the select board version.
Yeah, so we moved it 3 to 5 at Scott Hall.
Okay, great, thank you. I had a couple comments, but wanted to give other folks an opportunity to ask questions.
So I mean, what I would just point out to you, I did put in front of you, play a game, learn how. So one of the researchers that's been working with us, for lack of a better word, she's a researcher in game theory. And she wanted to, she's putting together this sort of community energy planning type game. It's not part of the ETIP program, but it's part of her research. And she offered it to us and we took it up. It might very well end up in the ETIP program at a later date. But not ours, but you know, another community that applies for it.
Right, it's a game to assist people making decisions.
Yes. You're all
Any
welcome.
other questions, Cassie?
I had a couple comments. So first of all, congratulations on getting to the draft plan. This looks really excellent and I'm really excited to see this move forward and the input. On the goal 1, I was curious, I noticed that energy generation like solar on town buildings wasn't included under that umbrella, and I was wondering if that was not mentioned during the public workshops, or if there's a reason that didn't appear as one of the options. We mentioned, or I know it's mentioned in there is leasing town-owned land to an energy developer, but there's also a great potential of locating renewable energy on buildings, so I was just curious.
I don't remember. I know that there's been interest in that and we could certainly add that to it. So.
I don't think that it was excluded, it was, we just didn't wanna make the list so long that. Yeah, sure, and I think it is pretty much in there with the geothermal solar, blah, 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 blah. I mean,
Okay.
It's not excluded, how about that?
Perfect, great, yeah, I think being as inclusive as possible for the different options makes a lot of sense. My second comment is that I think focus areas 1 through 3 are really well structured in that they are seeking to achieve a certain outcome. But focus area 4 is more about developing a program of education, and it's very similar to the goal. And so I thought that this area could be more outcome focused, maybe the focus area itself could be focused on assisting residents with reducing energy costs. And then goals underneath that could be creating an education program, but there are also athletic actions that could be considered that some other towns in Maine have taken that I thought I'd give examples for. For example, the Island Institute has a good write-up of an example of a Peaks Island community group that organized bulk purchasing of heat pumps for residents, which resulted in significant savings for those residents. That's something that other towns, I think outside of Maine, have done. So that's a program that the town could explore for.
Yeah, we can.
Doing.
It's possible projects, you know, we're not
Sure.
limited, but if you email me that, we could put
Yeah.
it on that.
I'll email that too. Basically, I thought the focus area could be more action oriented around helping residents achieve reduced energy costs and savings, and then the goals could then give examples of education actions.
That's the point of this, really, it is, it's to develop an energy, education, yeah, a program that helps residents reduce their energy costs, that's the end
Right.
result.
I think the nuance I'm trying to include here is that education is different than direct, like the town taking direct action. The education is more about just educating the residents, giving them information, them to take action. Whereas the town could also consider taking direct action to help those residents.
Sure,
That's basically.
and I think the goal here is though that the town is taking action by educating people about these programs. And then some of them right here, like community aggregation and balcony, solar. You know, and I don't wanna get into these because I don't know them well enough, Peter does. But some of these, the town would have to, actually engage, like,
Right, so I just thought the focus area is not broad enough, how it's currently worded to be
Sure.
inclusive of those projects.
if you, send me an email with your thoughts, I'll do.
Any other select board questions? How about from our people here? Online? Seeing none, well, thank you, Erin, for coming today.
Thank you for having
We'll
me.
see you on August 25th, 3 o'clock at Scout Hall. Your voice and your opinions and your thoughts and your questions will help shape this project. Okay, our next item. Item number 6, we have an abatement.
Let's see, move to approve the abatement for Ronald and Jillian Barnes at map R04 lot 2-27 in the amount of $868.05 as recommended by Assessor's Agent Ellery Jean Fain.
Second.
And we have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from the select board? And do we have any from our people here gathered online? Seeing none, can I have a vote? 5-0 in favor. We have a town manager report. Is there anything that you would like to add to that or talk about particularly, Dennis?
Yep, a couple things. We do have a sewer issue down on Main Street. I'm glad Rob's here tonight. We've been trying to deal with this now, Rob's been trying to deal with this now for several days, probably a couple of weeks. And we've tried everything to correct this problem, from jetting the pipe, and it's just going to require us to dig up the sidewalk. And replace the no. No,
You're listening to
Can I comment on that?
sure.
I'm Rob from the sewer department. And tomorrow morning, I will be meeting with plumber from Treats, who incorrectly piped the new plumbing in that building into the storm drain.
Oh, so this is information that I didn't.
Yes, I only found this out in the last hour. And he's getting parts tonight because he's got to replumb it across the basement wall down there. And he came across a 4-inch connection that left the building and decided to hook up the sewage line from the second floor right to that. And that's what was producing the sewage outside. So that is going to be fixed tomorrow. So anyway, Ted was up there with me earlier today, and we did have Ramsey Plumbing, actually the owner of the owner of Rock Paper Scissors, had it, and he dug down and he located a couple of lines, and the plumbing from Rock Paper Scissors seems to be fine. So anyway, there's a spot where it needs to be rehabbed, have all the bricks put back and everything, but we have all cones around it at the moment. So anyway, that's the latest on that. So it looks like Rock Paper Scissors her plumbing is fine, and it's because of Treats that this occurred. So anyway, tomorrow that will be fixed in Treats, so there won't be any more sewage possibly coming out on the street. But then I'll have to talk with the plumber, because his plumbing mistake is the reason for kerfluffle. So anyway, I'll speak with him tomorrow.
Well, that will save me from trying to cut everybody for the disruption on the sidewalk, and that's probably the best news I've heard in several days. Thank you for the update.
And what contractors carry liability insurance.
Well, yeah, that's another matter. A couple of other things. I did have an email today asking if there was going to be a public hearing regarding the question for the sewer bond, and yes, all referendums require a public hearing before the vote. And that will be scheduled during your August 18th meeting. So, and that will be posted in the paper. And I've already seen some information floating around online that's not correct. And so I've sent it all to you today. I put out a fairly detailed fact sheet on what's going to happen, why this question is on the ballot. There's copies of it on the table here. It's posted online. Erin has put it on Facebook. I did intend to send it to Susan Johns today and just didn't get to it. So Susan, I'll get it to you. I know she's online. And anybody that has any questions about this, please feel free to reach out to me and ask. We want to get accurate information out there as to why this is a necessary thing, so. And if people want to make copies of this and take it and distribute it around, it's good.
Any questions for Dennis or? And from our people here, no? Then may I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Thank you all for coming. Particularly with that.